All right, I don't know if any of y'all can relate to what I'm going to talk about. And I'm not saying in this video, I am not saying that I am autistic, and I don't really know if I have slight autism or what. I'm not like Tom Cruise and Stephen Hoffman or whatever in the movie Rain Man. There's some people that they seem to be mentally retarded, and there's some people with autism that you can't really tell that they're autistic. But I know the traits of autism. I have a lot of the traits of autism. Like even looking in this phone's camera, I don't like doing. I don't like looking like in people's eyes. I've always felt out of place around people. I could never get comfortable around people. Even my own mom, my own brother, my own family, I could never get comfortable around. Even people that I was comfortable around, I couldn't get comfortable around. As crazy as it sounds, I've always been like this. And some of my music abilities that I have and things like that, I don't know where these come from. I could never understand how I can get a notebook and just keep writing and writing and writing. And I can think of instrumentals in my head. I can think of music in my head. I can do a lot of artistic things that I say, how am I doing this? Where is this coming from? And that's why I tell y'all, the only word that I can really come up with is God or genetics. I got very lucky with my genetics, or God gave me the ability, which that's why I give credit to that, because I don't understand it. And I know my name means God has given unto, to give. He has given. And that name fits me perfectly because I feel like this loner guy that even though I'm a loner, I like showing people the glory of art and speaking. Like I speak in these videos. I like doing this. But I don't like creating around people. At least I'm not used to doing that. And I was never really used to doing it. Even though I did it sometimes, it felt very uncomfortable when I did. I'm going to bring my tone down a little because this microphone is very sensitive and it clips when I talk a little too loud, and there's no dial on it. So, but yeah, I even showed off for people back in the day, and I would do my music and I would freestyle. I used to be a really, really good freestyler back in the day, and I could sing. I could do it all, I could do it all. I could sing, I could make music, I could think of music in my head, I could acapella beats, I could write stuff and remember it, kind of like Jay-Z. I haven't been doing that lately, so I used to practice it all the time. I can't do it as much now like I used to be able to, because I used to practice this stuff all the time. So that's why I was decent at my craft and what I did. And I still do that, but I'm not really into the rapping as much, but I'm still into it. It's not my top priority, but I'm a poet. I like words. I like putting words together and writing. And I see a lot of you out there. I think a lot of you out there, what's going on with you is you're slightly autistic. I see the way that when you look into the camera, or, the way these little movements and these actions you do, and the way you act and the way you look, it reminds me of myself. But I don't know if you have those artistic things with you or whatever, but I can kind of sense when another person is like me, and it's only a few people, but it's some people. And the reason that I say this is because, like I was saying, I have all the traits. I have all the traits of somebody who's autistic. I don't like looking at people in the face. I actually hate looking at people in the eyes. There's something about eyes that get me nervous. I don't know why. And that's related to schizos too, like schizophrenics and stuff. They don't like eyes for some reason. And it ain't that I hate people that look at me and stuff. It's just when you're looking at me, it's like I'm waiting for you to say something. If you're looking at me, then, okay, well, tell me what you're thinking. See, if I don't know what you're thinking, or if you're just staring at me and you're looking, I kind of have this paranoia thing where I'm like, okay, well, talk to me, say something. Don't just sit there and stare at me forever and not say anything, because I don't know what's on your mind or what you're thinking. And even though I know I can't read people's minds or what they're thinking, it's hard to describe. I'm this guy when I'm around people. I want to know, what's going on in your head. What are you thinking about? How is your day? Things like that. And most people, they don't think like I do, because they don't think that they have to say anything. Because they don't think the way that I do. This is just for me. And they don't have this way of thinking, and they're kind of, to me, this is just for me. I know it's going to sound weird, but they're kind of like zombies to me. They're kind of like dead to me. They're kind of like mutes when I'm around them. And that's how I see a lot of people, but I know that's just my mind telling me that. I know they have a life. I know that they're people. And I don't know if that's the right word to use. It's just very awkward being around people when they're not talking or it's silent. And that's why when I'm by myself, I'm not thinking of anybody else. I'm not wondering what another person is thinking. They're not influencing me in any kind of way. See, this is why I like creating by myself, because I'm the only one influencing me. I'm the only one telling me, reflecting back onto myself. You see, I'm the only one self-reflecting on what it is that I'm doing at that time. See, it's up to me, and I'm in my own space, and I'm in my own thinking, in my own mind, and there's nobody there to bother me to say, hey, why ain't you doing it this way? Don't you think you should do it like that? Why are you doing it like that? And there's something about that irritates me beyond measure, and I get irritated, and I kind of go into these little fits where I'm like, look, don't tell me what to do as a person. I don't need you to tell me what to do. Now, somebody would call this a kind of childish hissy fit or something. But you have to understand, from my point of view, it's not that. It's almost like I can't help it. And this is why going to jobs and stuff, I cannot work around other people. I literally can't do it. I know I tell you in these videos, if you tell yourself that you can't do something, then you're going to think that you can't do something. But you have to understand, I've already went to jobs and I've tried to do the 9 to 5 or the 1 in the morning till 9 in the morning or 10 in the morning, whatever. And I just cannot work around people. I can't do it. There's something about working around other people where I can't get my mind off of the people there. I think that they're doing things in my mind. I'm kind of like a little paranoid, like they're they're all there for the wrong reasons, or they're there to cause trouble or something weird in my head, and I get it's very hard to explain. I know this sounds really weird, but like I told you, I have a lot of weird ways about myself, and I'm not ashamed of those ways. I'm not ashamed to say that that's how I am, because that's the way that I am with a lot of things, because my brain does something on its own where, how can I explain this? When I'm working with people, if they're not, it's almost like when I'm working with other people, they're not focused on the job. They're focused on doing the job better than me, and they're focused on me and saying, oh, well, look at him, he's doing the job better. And these are the thoughts that go through my head. I know that they're bullshit. I know that these thoughts are bullshit, but really, they're not bullshit. Some of them are, some of them ain't. Because I know that people, they have this kind of competitive nature when you work together. Like, I have to work better than you, or harder than you, and more than you. I'm like, look, I'm just here for a job. I'm just here to get paid. I'm just here to do the job, do what I have to do, go on my lunch break, do whatever I do, and go home. I don't care about making friends. I don't care about being competitive with you. I don't care about workplace gossip. I don't care about any of that bullshit. And see, when I'm around people, and when I'm working with people, and I'm associating with people, you have to be around them. You have to correlate with them. You have to be around them, and there's no way around it. And if anything, I need a job where I'm by myself. When I am working somewhere, I need to be driving a truck, or stocking shelves by myself, or doing something where it's me on my own doing a job. If I'm working, I cannot work around other people. I just can't do it. I tried to do it. It was absolutely a nightmare every day, knowing I have to go around these people that don't give a shit about me. I really don't give a shit about them either, but I do care about their welfare and well-being. But I know that they don't want to get to know me. They're not interested in my life or who I am. And therefore, there's this weird awkwardness in the air every day. And I know a lot of you probably go through the same thing every time you go to work. There's this weird awkwardness in the air, like you're always with strangers, and they don't talk to you, they don't say nothing to you. They might say hi, or do you need help? But you don't get into these intimate you don't really get to know one another. It's not genuine. It's this fake workplace attitude. It's this fake persona that everybody's putting on. Putting on a happy face and, oh, let's get it done. And, the workforce is the best place. They put up these corny slogans and shit that are absolute bullshit. They're just totally hypocritical and nonsense. And you're there and you're like, this is just stupid. This is awkward. This is dumb. And then when you do try, if you would attempt to get to know people, they stab you in the back, they gossip about you, they do all of these things to you because they're living a certain kind of way that I'm not living. I'm not that kind of guy. I talk with you because I want you to be the best you. I want you to know yourself. I want you to be honest with you. I want you to express what you need to and all that. But it's like everybody starts focusing on everybody else. Everybody starts focusing on each other and starts this workplace competition bullshit and this gossip and like it's me versus you and you're a stranger, and then they stay in their little groups and they group up in all this shit, and that is just one aspect of the problem with me with going to a job working around people. I cannot work with other people. I just can't do it. If we're not doing something, the only way that I might be able to, and I'm not even saying that this will work, because there's only a select few people that I'm comfortable with actually in person letting them know about myself or trusting them, because I know half the time they don't even trust themselves. They don't even like their own life. They haven't even studied themselves yet or came to get a grip of their own life. So, I know that they're going to look at me when something goes wrong or something's not right. They're going to be looking at me. And I'm going to be the point of blame or judgment and all these things. And there's very few people that I'm willing to do this stuff by myself and show it on camera and do it in my spare time and show other people. But when you start getting involved with people, it's, there's so many people that their intentions are not right. Their motives and their intentions for what they do and the people they are, I don't trust them. I don't trust people. And I know what I'm saying is true, because I know people, a lot of people are just like that. They're not to be trusted. Their intentions are wrong. They don't look at themselves. They don't self-reflect back onto themselves at all. They don't blame themselves for nothing. They never call themselves out. They're not willing to admit they're wrong about nothing. It's this me versus you kind of attitude, and it's weird to me. It's so awkward when I'm around people like that. And that's why I don't like being around damn near most people, because that's how they think. That's their mentality, is like this. It's me versus you. You're my enemy. Or, oh, well, look at this guy over there. What's he about? And the whole time people are thinking this, nobody's thinking, okay, well, what's the best for me today? I really don't need to get to know you. Do you know yourself? Do you know, like, the person that do you know the things that you're doing in life? Do you know the things that you're capable of? Have you looked at yourself? Have you took the time to say, well, I am my own problem. I am my own worst enemy. I'm only fighting myself here, really. And this is what I'm scared of in people, is that I know that most people are projecting everything that they are. It might seem like I'm saying that I'm projecting stuff onto people, but I just know how people are. I know how people are with this kind of stuff, because they show me. They show me with their words. They show me with their actions. They show me with the things they say. Just these little tiny things that I see in people that I don't even think they see in themselves. And see, this scares people because, see, I can't lie. I can't hate people. I can't play this little dishonest game, and I can't be deceitful to people. I just can't do that. It's not in my blood. And this is how autistic people are. This is something that Kanye West even said. He said, I can't hate people, and I can't get somebody to make me hate somebody. I just can't do it. But I know what people are doing, and I understand what they're doing to themselves, even when they don't understand what they're doing to themselves. And this is why I don't mess with most people. This is why I don't trust people, because I know that they do not trust themselves to do what they need to do for themselves. They haven't even looked at the man in the mirror yet. They haven't even took the time to observe the people that they are and the things they do. And this is kind of somebody with autism. They're very sensitive to these things. They can pick these things up way easier than people. They know when people are lying. They know when people are bullshitting themselves. They know when people are being slick. They know when people are smiling in their face, acting like they're their friends and they're cool with them, that they're actually stabbing you in the back and playing this game with you. And I know, because I've already had people that act like they're my friend to my face, and they'll smile right in my face, and then right when I go away, I hear, and this was in the past, I hear that they were talking shit about me. They were belittling me. They were saying all this shit. And then when I see them, oh, what up? What's up, Nate? What's going on? Nate, that's my boy. That's my boy. Like these guys that say it's your boy and all that. Quit saying that bullshit. You're not my boy. You know, oh, this is your boy. Like, how am I your boy? I don't even know you. I never even talked with you or seen you. And I'm talking about these guys on these YouTube channels, and they all say this dumb shit. Yeah, what up? Yeah, what up, y'all? It's your boy. It's your boy, UK103. I'm back with another video. It's like, dude, this is like phony shit that I be speaking about. I can see right through this phony shit, and it bothers me. And see, I can't tell people that. I can't tell people how I really feel, because then they'll get offended, because they don't even understand how they're acting amongst themselves. They don't even realize how phony they're being with themselves sometimes. I don't even think they realize how fake and plasticky they really are, and disingenuine they're being with some things. And that bothers me, because I'm not like that. And yeah, you know, that's just how it is. You know, this is how I feel. This is the person I am. And people that aren't like this, I know they're gonna look at me like I'm the problem. Like I'm the one that is that way, because I'm projecting that onto people. But see, it's a lot deeper than that. It's a lot deeper than that. And I really can't. I'm doing my best to explain it to you, but I'm really not explaining it in detail, because it's hard for me to explain it in detail, because there's kind of a mental blockage there that I can't quite put my finger on to tell you what I mean by what I'm attempting to say, because that's how it is for me. I have these kind of mental blockages, but I still know what I know. I just can't put it into words for people sometimes. And that kind of discourages me too, because when I don't feel like I'm explaining myself right, then I get agitated too. That's another thing with me. When I feel like my videos are not the way that I would like them to go, or I didn't say something where I think I got my point across, it gets me agitated sometimes, but I let it go. Eventually I let it go. A little bit later, I might get really agitated. And pissed off at first, but it doesn't last. It's just like these little temper tantrums in my mind that I'm having. You don't see them on the camera, but I do have them. And it's really weird, because I'm not trying to be perfect, but then at the same time, I am a perfectionist with things that I do, and that kind of takes away the human element to what I'm doing, because if I'm trying to be perfect, then I'm not really being a human being. If I'm trying to be perfect on this video for you, then I'm not being human. And for me to let that guard down of perfectionism, for me to be a human, for me to show you my weakness, for me to expose myself, for me to tell you I'm having a problem, for me to tell you those things, It's a little uncomfortable, but it doesn't matter. It's all some stupid thing in my head telling me that if I do that, then they're gonna judge me. They're gonna talk about me. They're not gonna like me anymore. If I do that, then they're gonna see me a different way, and I'm gonna look like this thing. And this is another reason why I did this video, is when I said in my video, the last video I did, when we say something like, who or what am I? Who am I? What am I? What does that mean? What the hell does that mean when we say something like, who I am, what I am? What does that mean? If you say, well, this is what I am, then like you're so many different things. You act so many different kind of ways. You think so many different things. How can you say this is who I am as a person? I never know who I am. I never know what I am. And I don't want to know who and what I am. I don't want to have a label. I don't want to fit in any category. I don't want to be, I don't want to put myself in some kind of genre of music. I don't look at things like that. See, that's another thing autistic people do. They don't want to be looked at as something. Like they don't want people to call them a certain thing because there's so many things. But yet so many people, they're so used to thinking that they have to be one thing. They have to have this image of themselves that they're trying to hold up for the world, that they're trying to say to people, look, this is what I am, and respect what I am and who I am. No, I don't respect what and who you are, because you're not anything. You're not who and what you think you are. You're just trying to hold up that image for other people. You're attempting to keep an identity that you can't let go of, and trying to hold that identity and that image up for the world. That is the 1,000-pound gorilla on your back. That is the heavy weight that keeps you down. That is the extra baggage that you carry around every day of your life because you think that you have to be a certain way for people. And I am not trying to be any way. I just am the way that I am, and I know most people are not going to understand it. They're going to question it. They're going to say, well, why do you think that way? Why do you act that way? Why do you say that thing? Well, I can see that you're not doing this anymore. Because you have to understand, none of us are special, but I know that I'm a unique person. I know that every one of us is unique. We just don't see, we're not willing to call ourselves unique. We're not willing to think that we are unique people, because we are. There's nobody else that looks like you. There's nobody else that talks like you. There's nobody else that acts like you. There's nobody else that sounds like you. There's nobody else that thinks like you. That's why each one of us are unique. And this side of me, I realize a lot of people, they can't see this for themselves. It's kind of like a mental blockage there that they just cannot see it. They have not yet looked at the real person in the mirror. And when you look at the real person, you realize that all along, this was just an image. This was just conditioned things that you've learned ever since childhood. You learned this from your parents. Everything you know, you've learned from another person. You've learned from another place. You've learned from somebody else. All of these thoughts that you have in your head, All of these things that you think you are, all of these things that you've been believing your whole life, you have to realize that it was all just conditioned stuff. And most of it's lies. That's why I say thoughts are lies. The only things that are real are smell, taste, hearing, touch, and vision, sight. That's the only things that are real. Everything else is imagination. Everything else is thoughts. Everything else is projections that we're projecting onto the world from something we learned. And we really don't know anything. We're actually kind of stupid if you think about it. We're all just like kind of idiots judging one another and pointing the finger and saying, well, I'm better than you. It's me versus you. I have to do better than this person. This is all stupid to me. It's all a stupid game that we're playing with ourselves, and it is the pressure on us. It is the heavy weight on our shoulders. It is the very essence of a 1,000-pound gorilla on your back. It is the very baggage that you and I carry around every day. And I see this shit for myself. Whether people see it for themselves or not, that's not up to me. I can't see that for you. All that I can do is tell you about it. And if you want to see it, or you can see it, or you can't see it, whatever, it's whatever. I gotta let it go. I have to just say it and let it go. And to me, what I think is something, other people might not think that it's anything. They might think that I'm just blurting out a bunch of nonsense like it's nothing. But to me, this is teaching us something that nobody has ever taught us. And it isn't something, you're not learning to add another label to yourself. You're not learning to put yourself in a category. You're not learning to call yourself a genre. You're not learning to put more baggage onto yourself. You're learning to let that shit go. You're learning to say, look, let me free myself from all this insanity, from all this nonsense, from all this conditioned shit that I've been told. Let me free myself from this stuff. See, this is the bondage. This is what has us in bondage. But how many of us actually see this, though? That's my question to everybody out there. How many of us actually see this shit for ourselves? How many of us actually see what we're doing to ourselves and the things we're telling ourselves every day and the way that we act? We're acting upon conditioned thoughts. We're acting upon things we've learned. Do we understand we're doing this? Do we understand that? I mean, and you know, the person that's in denial, or the person that's too stubborn, the person that's too prideful, the person that's carrying around all that weight, you're carrying around pride, you're carrying around ego, you're carrying around, I have to be some versus them, I have to be better. You're carrying around this baggage of, I have to get approval from people, I gotta look like something for them or they're not gonna like me. How many of us are still carrying that around every day? Every single day, our minds are set on those same stupid things. And I think they're stupid things. I think they're irrelevant, nonsensical things that we think that we need. Because we think when we get rid of all of that and let all that go and free ourselves from that, we don't think there's going to be nothing to live for. We say, oh, well, I have to fill it in with something else. I have to fill it in with something else. I have to put another conditioned thought there. I have to put another prideful thing there. I have to put another egotistical thing there. I have to put another thought there. I have to put another thing that the world goes by there. I have to keep putting all this stuff there. And See, this is why we're not free. This is why we are not free up in here. Listen, you don't think I know? You don't think I know that we're all gonna lose in the end? You don't think I already don't know that? We're all gonna lose one day. Every single one of us, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna get old. We're all gonna die. I know, and it's like, get used to the losing. I got so used to losing and telling myself that I'm gonna lose. In the meantime, what am I doing until then? But until that day, until that time, what am I doing? Am I just gonna keep having I'm gonna lose mentality? Oh, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose. What is this life worth living? Why keep going? I hate life. What's the point of this? I hate everything. I hate people. And look, I'm not saying that you have to like people, because I don't like most people. I won't lie to you. I don't even like most people, but I don't hate people. I can't hate people. I just don't like how they are, and I'm willing to leave them alone. There's 7 point something billion, 8 billion people in this world. I could give a rat's ass what billions and billions of people are doing, because I know that I'm never going to be in their life anyway. I can't, first off, you and I can't save anybody while we're here. That's impossible. You can't save anybody. It's almost like, just be your own living testimony unto yourself and show other people, if you want to do that, show other people what you're doing like I'm doing, and talk to people about how you are as a person. And you never know what that can do. You never know. You might be speaking. I have no idea who I'm talking to. I'm completely in the blind. I don't even know who listens to my videos. I don't even know who you are. But I know there's some of you that have donated to my channel, and I appreciate the hell out of that. I'm eternally grateful that you would give something to me, because I'm giving you myself, and I'm giving you the person that I think I am. See, I can't say that, oh, this is the person I am, because yet again, what does that mean? I'm going to be continually changing. I'm going to be continually thinking different. And see, we're so not used to that, then when we hear things that someone like me is saying, we're so not used to that it's uncomfortable. It doesn't feel right. And when we don't understand something, that's when fear takes hold, because we don't understand. But see, the more that you understand, it fills in that fear gap, because you understand things now. And understanding kills fear. It kills most fear. I'm not saying all fear. Am I scared of, getting hurt? Am I scared of violence? Yes. But I don't fear any man. The only thing I do fear, if anything, I fear God. If there is a God, if there is something in control of all this, that's the thing I fear. Because I know that thing has the ultimate power to do whatever that thing wants to do. And I'm not saying that God is real. I don't know if God's real, but I don't fear men anymore. I don't fear their judgments anymore, because I know that's how men are always going to be. I understand how men are. I understand their ways. I understand all that stuff. But the question is, do you understand that for yourself? Listen, this all comes down to, do we understand these things for ourselves? Excuse me. That's all that it comes down to, is, do we get this? Do we know this? Do we understand this? Have we looked into this thing for ourselves? Have we come to terms with this for ourselves? Have we sat in a quiet room, and debated in our mind, well, why is this going on with me? Why do I think this way? Why do I act this way? What is the reason why I keep doing this thing over and over? But some of us, we don't even take the time to do that for ourselves. And then we wonder why we have all these problems. We're causing most of our problems for ourselves, y'all. I'm sorry to say that, but I'm not sorry. I can't be sorry. I'm sorry that I have to say it to people, and I have to keep reminding myself too. But we have to understand we are our own worst enemies here. We are doing most of the things that we're doing. We're creating our own reality, and we're creating our own negativity. We're creating our own depression. We're creating a lot of the shit that we're thinking and going through. We're doing it to ourselves. Whether you want to admit that or not, whether me and you are in denial, it doesn't matter. Denial doesn't give a shit if you're in denial of it. It's still gonna be that way. You know, listen, coming to terms with stuff, it's not an easy thing for our conditioned minds and our conditioned brains and our thoughts. Basically, our thoughts. It's hard for us to say, look, let me take this upon myself. This is me doing this. I'm the problem here. Let me take accountability for what I'm doing. It's so hard for us to do that because we've been telling ourselves the same shit for so freaking long, for so many years, and we've been lying to ourselves and telling ourselves that I'm right about things and these people are wrong and I know what's best for everything and I can't do any wrong here because my roses don't smell like shit. My roses smell perfectly fine. I know that I know everything I'm saying, and you really don't know shit because